All right, I'm James, and tonight I'm jonesing with
Man. And tonight with Jones and Mann, well, I don't know what. What's the big surprise, James?
Well, we got something special
Okay.
all the way from Japan.
Oh, konnichiwa. Oh, I better not say that. Konnichiwa. Nice. Japanese whiskey.
Yeah, I heard it was voted the best whiskey in the world in 2014.
So for the Joneses out there that don't know, what James has brought me is, well, to try at least, is Yamazaki. This is the single malt whiskey. How'd you score that?
We actually went to Japan in 2015.
Okay.
And I was told that if you go to Japan, somebody was like, man, you got to get some Japanese whiskey and bring it back because they don't have it here. You can't get it. And I was told this particular brand was like the best in the world. And we went to I don't know how many liquor stores we went to. And every place wouldn't sell it to me because I was a gaijin, a tourist.
Tourist, huh?
And they kept telling me, good customers only, good customers only. And finally, I believe we made it to Nagasaki. And we found a place that actually had this, and they actually sold me 2 bottles.
Nice.
So I got 2 bottles, and I think it was 4,500 Japanese yen, which is around, at the time, maybe $37, $38.
Oh, that's pretty good, because Japanese whiskey is, here in the States, is pretty pricey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, now, this Yamazaki, I have seen what's called, I don't see it listed here on the bottle, but the bottle looks really similar, is the Distiller's Reserve. Yamazaki is one of the oldest distilleries of Japanese whiskey. And Japanese whiskey is, if you never tried it before, Japanese whiskey is really akin to Scotch. It's modeled, the process is really modeled after what's traditionally in the States is referred to as a Scotch. And you'll notice that it has a oaky taste. It has almost a peaty kind of feel to it. I've tried the Yamazaki 12, and that is I'm going to say, my favorite Japanese whiskey. So I think the Distiller's Reserve is kind of like the entry level of it.
I think it's the entry level.
And I wonder, now I know that it doesn't say it here, and I think you mentioned that this is the Distiller's Reserve, but I wonder, the Distiller's Reserve, one of the characteristics is finished in sherry cask, and one more thing. I wonder, is this the Distiller's Reserve, and it's just not labeled as such because it's the Japanese only version?
Or is it there and we can't read it because it's in
Japanese?
Japanese?
Yeah. You don't read Japanese?
No.
Oh, okay, well.
Good luck at that.
Good luck at that, right? So, awesome, man. I really appreciate you bringing this by, but I think part of bringing it by is tasting it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. So let's do little house rules. Let's pour us 2 small, because I know that this is precious, so we'll pour us 2 small pours. Just enough to wet the whistle, as they say. And then I've got 2 rocks glasses. I'll pour us 2 small pours on the rocks. So we can let that sit for a while. Ooh, I can smell it too, yeah. Yeah, this is Japanese whiskey. It smells really peaty.
Kind of has a caramel kind of.
Little caramel in there, little caramel, a little oaky kind of feel to it. Yeah, it is Japanese whiskey.
Now, before we taste it, I've actually tasted it because the bottle's obviously already open.
Yeah, right.
But I've never had it on the rocks, so I have no idea what it tastes like on the rocks.
Okay. Well, that'll be a new experience for you. All right, I'm excited. Let's taste it. Okay.
Definitely has that charred taste.
You definitely get some char in there. I have what I call my burn. Not all the way down, but partially the way through. I feel some heat in there.
And the flavor is still changing, right? As we're talking right now, the flavor is changing.
It is. It starts out a little light on the tongue. In the middle, it gets kind of like a fruity kind of little taste to it, like some, I don't know. This might be finished in some sort of wine barrel, because that's some fruit in there on the back of that. We'll be able to taste it when we put it on the rocks. That's pretty good. That's comparable to the 12. I would say the difference is the 12 where you get that burn. The 12 is a lot softer.
It's
a lot smoother. So you get a little bit less of that burn.
But this isn't going to have a lot of burn at all.
No.
Nice, cute stuff.
Not for Japanese whiskey. Not at all. Clink them and drink them.
Clink them and drink them.
Yep. You see? All the burn goes away. And you are left with a nice Japanese whiskey.
Well, I'm more of a cold drink guy anyway.
Yeah.
But I actually kind of prefer this on the, not Neat. On the rocks.
Neat. Okay.
Just straight up. I mean, it doesn't really taste that bad.
Yeah.
But I think it's something I wouldn't want to start, chugging this bottle or anything.
It's not a pounder.
It's a sipper.
Yeah, it is not a pounder. You don't want to just start cracking them back. I would say on everything that we do, we rate. Did you mention what you paid? You did. So about $30, $45 bucks?
$37, $38 US.
Okay. I think for, let's say $40 US, this is a great example of a Japanese whiskey for me. I would probably give it a 4. Because the price is right. It is somewhat easy to drink. It's got good barrel aging. A little, not really peaty, because it's not like a full-fledged Scotch. But it's got a drinkable palate. I want to have you try something. Are you a big fan of this?
Yeah.
Is the other bottle gone?
No, that's
still got another bottle.
Okay. Not open.
Okay.
This is
special occasion.
This has only been opened. I think I had it open for about 3 years, and we've kind of just like sipped on it on New Year's.
On New Year's, okay.
So
I like it.
And most of it, it's not even me drinking it. I'm letting other people try it.
Okay, you're a giver. It works. Well, I think it's an opportune point to point out that we have these fantastic handmade glass blown decanters from a company called Prestige Decanter. Just hold that in your hands. Does that feel like a dainty decanter?
No, it feels very well made.
That's meaty. That's girthy. That's hand blown glass. It is airtight. They make the stands there. Just everything you can customize. They put Jones and Mann on the tag. Really, really well made decanter. So if you decide, hey, I want to put it in a decanter and let it just kind of sit out there and display it, because this is something that you might want to display on. Check out Prestige Decanters. Use promo code JNM. But I'm slide off that, Just
then everybody's gonna be like, "Well, what's in there?"
Then you tell them the story.
Yeah,
you're gonna tell them the story and explain, and they're like, "Ooh, you paid how much for it?" Oh, it was $1,000 for that right there. You can really,
that's a Yamazaki 18 over there.
It'll really taste good then. So since you brought me a Japanese whiskey, and I feel like you've got maybe I don't know how big of a fan you are, but I wanted to share one that we tried, and if you want to see the full episode, you can check it out. But this is Kura. Kura is a new house in Japanese whiskey. The reason why I picked this up was because it's finished in Japanese rum barrels. I'm still hunting for a Japanese rum.
I didn't even see anyone.
I've never seen a Japanese rum. Like Helios is the distillery company that does this, and they make a Japanese rum. But I'm gonna pour you a little one too, just a little sip. So you can kind of taste it and compare. And tell me how you think this compares to Yamazaki. Now, this is bold. This is big nose, hickory, peat, strong. I mean, much bigger than this.
Now, you keep mentioning peat. Like, how does that tie in there? Maybe somebody don't know. Like, I don't know. So I know what peat is, but
peat is like really, really is smoky, earthy. I think peat. I think if you ever smoked a cigar, been around somebody smoking a cigar, that thick scent that comes with a cigar or a charring of something, I associate that with peat.
So is that something that's in the process?
It is in the process.
Does it actually involve peat?
You
or is it just that kind of flavor?
You know, that's a good question. I assume it comes from peat in the process.
Maybe it's peat that's like peat moss. Maybe it's peat moss on the wood.
That's a good question. I don't know if it's actually peat moss. That's a good question. I'll have to put down below if it's actually peat added to the process.
Well, I wouldn't say added, but maybe the wood that they're burning
has peat on it.
Has the peat in the process. Maybe.
Good question. Good. I'll research and get you guys an answer. So let's take a sip.
Man, it tastes like I just drank a campfire.
Yeah, it's smoky. It is not as smoky as it smells, though, is it?
No. No. Definitely smoky.
Yeah, smoky, definitely.
If you don't like smoky, you have no business drinking that.
Yeah. So this is another introduction to Japanese whiskey. What do you think about Kira?
It's good.
It's good?
I'm not really a big fan on smoky stuff.
Okay.
I like the smoke flavor, but some of that smoked meat,
over the top.
I love cheese, but smoked cheese is just something I don't really.
I'm with you.
I don't know.
I don't think cheese is meant to be smoked.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Smoked cheddar, I can eat cheddar all day long, but smoked cheddar, I'm just get it away from me.
So what would you rate Kira?
I think it's pretty good. I would at least say it's got to be a 4. It's got to be on the same level as the entry level Suntory products.
Yeah, this was probably $50 in the U.S. So I guess maybe a little bit more than what you paid, but I guarantee you this is way more. If we could get it outside of Japan, it would be more than what you paid for it. So.
From what I saw online, it was like $100 to $200 depending on where you looked.
Secondary market is probably crazy for sure.
It's funny because this is supposed to be a Japan only product. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I had problems trying to buy it. They didn't want to sell it to me. They wanted to keep it for the good customers. But I actually saw this for sale when we went on an Alaskan cruise about 3 years ago. There was a little small liquor store, and we went in there, and for some odd reason, they actually had a couple bottles. But I think it was around the same price point. It was like $175 a bottle.
Yeah. Cruising and stuff, you can find a lot of international stuff. So that's a good thing about. I try whenever I cruise or travel out of the country, I try to pick up.
Well, this was actually a liquor store in Alaska.
Oh, in Alaska. Oh, okay.
Not on the cruise ship, but just actually in Alaska. I'm not sure exactly.
Well, I would imagine Alaska imports in a lot of stuff.
Oh, well, yeah, they have to truck and barge everything up there.
Yeah.
But they're still under the same restrictions as the rest of the main strip.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So, as always, appreciate you joining. Thanks for bringing the bottle by, man. This was a really good taste. I mean, I think this is an awesome substitute. I've got a friend who loves Yamazaki 12, and I think he would enjoy this as a substitute to spending $100+ bucks. But you just got to spend the ticket $2,000 for tickets to go to Japan.
Yeah, but if you bring enough of it back, you can pay for your trip.
You can pay for your trip, man. Hey, maybe so. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Jones and Mann. This has been another episode of Jones and Mann.
Click them. I ain't got nothing to drink.
Click them and drink them.
Click them and drink them.
We'll see you next time. Booyah.